Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about an European country that maybe it is not too popular, Belgium. To start, I will briefly talk about its political geography, which is really complicated. Then I will mention some official numbers, cities, curiosities, and typical products. Well, let's start. Belgium, or the Kingdom of Belgium, is an European country which borders with Germany, France, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and the North Sea. It has a population about 11 million people, and it has a very high population density. As an extra info, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and the European Union office are headquartered in Brussels, the capital of Belgium. Well, this country has three main regions. The first one is the Flemish region, located in the north of the territory, wherein people speak Dutch. The second one is Wallonia in the south, wherein people speak primarily French. And the third one is Brussels, the capital region. Brussels is the smallest region, and people speak both languages, Dutch and French. There is another kind of division that is related to the speaking communities, the Danish, French, and German speakers. Belgium is a sovereign state and a federal constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary system, and it has a very complicated institutional organization, which we could go deeper in another talk if you are interested. Okay, let's continue with the cities. In general, when we mention Belgium, maybe we think in Bruges, and the name is not related with a kind of witch's historical past. The name comes from a Viking word that means port or refuge. This city, located in the Flemish region, is considered an open-air museum whose center was declared a cultural heritage by the UNESCO. Bruges is called the Northern Venice for its huge amount of canals and bridges. Additionally, it has concentrated more castles than any other country in the world. Bruges was one of the biggest and prosperous cities during the Middle Ages and an important trading center. All in all, this medieval city is considered a must in Belgium. But there are other beautiful and interesting cities to visit. For example, we have Kortrijk. It is located near the French border, and as part of its history, it was founded by the Romans and heavily bombed during the Second World War. Despite that, this ancient city has many attractive old buildings and monuments for visitors to enjoy. And additionally, it is one of the best places to shop. It has the K indoor shopping mall, which is one of the biggest in Belgium. Another city? Well, we have Namur, the capital of Wallonia. In the past, it housed one of the mightiest fortresses in Europe because of its strategic position. And finally, I have to mention Brussels. The capital of the country is great to visit and a good place to live. Besides to the headquarters of the European Union and the NATO, Brussels is a multicultural place with several museums. There it is the Belgium's Royal Museum of Fine Arts, which is one of the largest and best art galleries in the world. There are a lot of interesting buildings too, like the Royal Palace or the Church of Notre Dame du Sablon, a church considered one of the loveliest late Gothic churches in Belgium. Now, if you want to have a nice walk, I recommend you the biggest park in the city, the Parc de Bruxelles. Now, let's continue with some other curiosities. Belgium has a national symbol, which is the mannequin piece. The mannequin piece is a little bronze statue of a kid urinating, and it symbolizes the independent spirit of Belgian people. In relation to music, Belgium has the biggest electronic music festival of the world, Tomorrowland Festival. It has more than 15 stages and 400 artists every year. Regarding to health topics, in 2003, the personal use of cannabis was decriminalized, but to amounts of 3 grams or less for therapeutic purposes. And it was the first country in the world that legalized the euthanasia in 2002. In entertainment, Belgium is considered the comic capital. Here, the Tintin adventurers, the Smurfs, among others, were born. Comics are considered a profession that it is taught in art schools, and there is a comic museum, the CBBG, located in Brussels. The great development of the comic is related to the need to communicate. This is connected with some periods of the history when the Flemish region and Wallonia were not able to speak their languages because of foreign invasions and repressions, and because the communication between regions was difficult. Remember that they speak different languages. So, images and drawings made communication easier. Regarding to products, Belgium has a big tradition of beers. Brewing started in the Middle Ages. Under the Catholic Church's permission, abbeys were the first producers of beer. Drinking water was not safe and caused illnesses, so most of the people, including children, was used to drink soft beer instead of water. They didn't know back then, but the process itself eliminated microbes. Afterwards, abbeys added herbs for the taste and hop as preservative. The current beers, as we know them, appeared after the Industrial Revolution, new technologies, and the understanding of the yeast fermentation. Belgian beer was declared Intangible Heritage of Humanity by the UNESCO in 2016. On the other hand, we have chocolates, which are produced in the country since 1635, when the explorers brought cocoa beans from South America and introduced them to the Belgian community. Afterwards, in 1885, Belgium colonized the Congo, and there was an easy access to Africa's cocoa fields, the best beans in the world. This last point is the non-sweet part of the chocolate story. The first genocide of the 20th century occurred, and millions of Africans were killed. Nowadays, the Belgians have maintained their trading links, and their chocolate production is estimated in 200,000 tons per year. Now, let's talk about potato chips or French fries. Did you know that they are Belgian? The legend says that poor families in the past, which lived in Namur, Dinant, and then, prepared hot oil and fried little fish from the river. But when the river was frozen, families cut fish-shaped potatoes and fried them. But and the name French fries? It's said that they were discovered by American soldiers in Belgium during the First World War, and since the dominant language of southern Belgium is French, they call them French fries. Well, as we have seen during this talk, Belgium has some nice cities, stories, and curiosities that are funny to check. If in the future you are planning to visit the country, I recommend you to study its geopolitical rules because they are really complex. Thank you for listening.